Okay, so this is I've been in. Okay, so this is an idea that I kind of usually do in writing, and I obviously kind of want to do this on video. And the other inspiration for this video is over this holiday I've been binge watching a lot of YouTube, and the one YouTube thing while I'm working out and doing other stuff. The thing I've been one of the things I've been watching aside from van life stuff is GQ's Essentials, where GQ does a series with celebrities and athletes and these people that they have on the series kind of show their favorite top 10 favorite things or top 10 more or less. So here's my essentials list, because it got me thinking, like, what do I use all the time? And so number one, I would say the thing that's almost always on me is the Apple Watch. So I got the series. I actually had the original Apple Watch, and to the point where that wasn't even called the Series 1. It was actually called, I think now it's called the Classic, but it was an absolute piece of shit. And the one I had ceramic glass, it was stainless steel, it was expensive, and it was slow, it was buggy, and to the point where Apple just straight up stopped supporting it, which kind of pissed me off. But by the point, I was so disappointed with it. It wasn't until about Series 3 that the reputation of the Apple Watch kind of caught up to the hype that it was trying to live up to. And I think, yeah, so I actually had, and then I got a Series 3. I finally broke down. I avoided the Series 1, definitely, because I was already pissed about the money I spent for the first one. And then the second one started getting much better. I'd read reviews, and the second one was better. And it wasn't until the third one that I caved back in and got one. And to the point where I got Betsy one too, because she was at this point starting to track her steps, and she was starting to run and everything else. And she's actually still on Series 3. I was trying to get her a 6, but she's like, oh no, I don't want another one. And I think eventually I'll get her one. Change is difficult for her, but so I broke down probably in October, I guess, and got the Series 6. I mean, I liked my Series 3. I thought it was fast, and the thing that impressed me about the Series 3 was that Apple, unlike the Classic, they supported it and kept on updating it, and it got faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and that really, really, I really, really appreciated that, and I really respected Apple for that. And so I was like, okay, well, they did a good job with 6, and so I'll give them a try. It's Series 3, so I'll give them a try. And now this thing's been great. It's been fast. The way I use it is a couple of things. One of the cool features is I use it as a trigger for a camera, because I'm the ultimate narcissist and I use it for my cell phone. But I respond to texts with it, listen to voicemails, do all the other stuff. I don't really use the fitness tracking stuff. I could care less about that. I like how it does monitor my resting heart rate. I got rid of my Oura Ring just recently because it died, and I realized I use this more, and now this is becoming more and more functional. I started using this new app called, I track my sleep. I track my sleep across several apps. I did a lot with my Aura. I use this app called Sleep Cycle, but I also use this app called Sleep Watch, which is literally Sleep Watch, because it leverages the biometrics on the watch for tracking your sleep. And that day when I decided, hey, I'm not going to go dump another 200 and it was Black Friday when my ring died. I'm not going to dump another $200, $300 on a ring when this can do it all. And the sleep watch thing has been pretty good. I'm just doing the freemium version. I'm not even using the paid version, which I might ultimately go to that. So that's the Apple Watch. I love it. I have some fancy watches, and I never use them. I just only this weekend did I actually put on my fancy watches just because of, you know, they were collecting dust and I was cleaning them off and I was like, well, how's it feel? It's like, you know, honestly, you know, clangs and everything, and I'm just used to this nice this OEM stock silicone band. I love it because you can adjust it, and because, you know, I'm always doing stuff and my wrists are expanding and whatever, and so I love it. I love it. To the point where, again, it's kind of impressive that it takes other watches and makes them obsolete, in my opinion. You know, I don't. It's enough bling for me. Plus, I got the blue one. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, so the number two thing on my list that when you start to get away from my body is the iPhone. This is not very much further away from me than this is, and I got the 11, straight 11, not Plus, Pro, or any of that stuff, because I didn't need the telephoto lens. Oh, that's my family. This thing's been, it's awesome. I use a cheap Amazon case, but I use a clip holster because at work, I don't like sticking things in my pockets because I have sharp objects that I stick in there and all kinds of stuff. And so it's always on my hip. And also it's away from the boys. Not that I'm not going to have any more kids, but I don't want ball cancer. So on my hip is a little bit better than having it away from me. But I love this thing. I won't get the 12, I don't think. The video on this is amazing. Oh, and the other thing I use is a magnetic, actually a metal plate and a magnetic mount on my cars. And I've got some in the gym, but I haven't used those in a while, but really handy, and it's just seamless attachment. So iPhone, awesome product. I mean, yeah, I could not live without this. And really, I can't live without this. This I could live without, but this is always close to me. Other thing I can't live without, and as almost all of these essential things videos are based around Apple products, because frankly, Microsoft's products suck, and I own them. Not just Windows, I'm talking about Microsoft, because those are pretty much the best Windows products around, and they suck. So the best thing, the other Apple product is the MacBook. This is my old 13-inch Pro, but I've since upgraded it to the 16-inch Pro. I didn't wait for the Apple Silicon, which now I do kind of regret, but I only brought this out because it's not plugged into all kinds of crap that my 16-inch Pro is. But this thing's a workhorse. I mean, I actually forgot how old it was, and it was still chugging along. I just wanted a little bit more horsepower for my the stuff I've been doing on the computer, and thought I would get the 16-inch because it's the new one. And the other thing, it's kind of a package, is just kind of sneaking this one, is the Kirkland microfiber cloth that I bought a pack of these, I think like 50, and I think they were actually over here, like a decade ago, and I've only used about 25 of them, and I use these things all the time. I've got one sitting in my van, my truck, whenever I'm driving. It's literally right there. In my car, it's right behind me. In Betsy's car, it's stuffed in the door to wipe phones down, polish them up, wipe windows, anything. Oh my God, like, it's crazy. Seriously, the bag that I bought, it's like, I'm gonna go get it, in fact. So the bag I bought is a bag of, Jesus, it's not even 50, it's 36. So it's 36 of these that have lasted me, I want to say, easily over a decade. And look how many are left. I mean, like, I start pulling these things out. They never die. It's like, wax the car with them, all kinds of stuff. They're awesome. I even gave some to my mom. I was like, Mom, just take this. Just use this to wipe your glass down with anyway. So Kirkland microfiber cloth. Okay, so the other thing is another thing, getting away from your field of the body, is you can't talk about essentials in this day and age without talking about masks. So the one I use the most, not because it fits better, they all, in my opinion, suck, is the Uniglow Aerism one. I made the mistake and read the reviews, and they said that the mediums were too small and you had to get the large. So I got the large, and they were sold out for quite a while, and got the large. This is actually in the store. I got the large, put it on, and it was like too damn big. So like, damn it! Had to go back to the store and got some mediums and then smalls, and gave Betsy the small ones, and they actually do fit. And for me, you know, I'm a small guy, but not that small. The medium just fits perfectly. The large it's too sloppy. The only downside of them is I wish they had like a bit of metal or something to try to keep the form of them. But they're light, they're durable. I like the shape, but you know, they're all the masks are the same. You know, if I'm a druthers, this is the one I would pick off the ones that are hanging in my truck. And then again, coming off the body, the other thing is my 6-inch boots, and these are my yard ones. And if you ever see me around in person, 90% of the time, I will be wearing a version of this boot. And it is a 6-inch boot because 8 inches, I have large calves, and that's a humble brag. I've got large calves, so the 8-inch ones are a little bit too tall and it starts to dig into my calf muscle. So 6 inches is about the highest you can go. And I like the side zip because it is the adult version of Velcro. Well, it's the middle-aged version of Velcro. Well, actually, these have Velcro to close over. But, you know, I hate, you know, tying your shoes is just an absolute waste of your time. You know, it looks adult, but at a certain point, it's just a waste of time. So I love just yanking these things on. So what I do, these are where I wear to work when I'm doing all the stuff around the yard. So what I do is I have a work pair, which are my dress boots. And I'll wear those until they get too scuffed up to make them and worn out, like cushion wise. And then I will put those into yard duty work. And these are former work boots, which are now relegated to yard work. And I have a couple of these. I always keep a couple of old pairs running around because I'll have like the really nasty, muddy crap pair. And then I'll have the ones that aren't as nasty, and I'll do like, you know, cut grass in those or whatever when it's not super gross. But so the other thing is getting away from the field of body view, getting away from your personal space, or my drinks. So and I'll do this, combine like 4 of these items into one category, and it's the drinks. And so my absolutely favorite way of consuming water is out of a Camelback Podium bottle. I love these bottles. I've been using them ever since Generation 1. They've just gotten better and better and better in every iteration. I love the fact that the mouth is large. I love the first Generation 1 and 2 got kind of really gross inside there, and inside there. Much better in this iteration. Speaking of which, I haven't cleaned this one in a while. And of cleaning, Betsy's like neurotic. Whenever she sees an empty or a semi-empty, or shit, even a full bottle sitting anywhere near the kitchen or the dining room table, she'll take it, empty it out, and put it in the dishwasher. I mean, I'm like, I just filled that up, and it's already in the dishwasher. So, you know, not complaining. She's trying to keep me from dying. But yeah, so I think this iteration of like I said, every generation gets better and better and better. Love these things. Love them to death. You know, it's easy to close. Of course, now it doesn't want to close. It's easy to close, though I never close them. Betsy does all the time. I guess she's afraid of him, like, busting water all over it. But I love these things. I mean, you will not see me be more than 10 feet away from a water bottle if I'm doing anything of physical exertion, ever. Speaking of which, so part of the drink apparatus essentials is my Aeropress, which I love this thing. I love devices or equipment that's simple, elegant, and where the function follows the form, or the form follows the function, and this fits that bill. Incredibly simple, incredibly effective, and will not die, and you can rebuild it. So if you never use an Aeropress but like a French press, but like using a French press, by all means get one of these. Total game changer. Clean. What I love about it is I use it for coffee. What I do is ground espresso. Well, dark French roast beans, and we actually use that for espresso. And I kind of make like a quasi espresso out of this. You know, if I use a little bit of water, you know, I have a nice espresso machine that's used it. I make her espresso every day. But what I like about it is it creates when you're done pressing the liquid out of the Aeropress, it makes a nice little puck, and you just basically eject it into. I use it into a knock box, an espresso knock box. So cleanup is like freaking effortless. And after I'd blown through all of the original paper filters, which are dirt cheap, I went ahead and got of course now it doesn't want to come out, a stainless reusable filter, and these things are awesome. This kit that I got for like 13 bucks on Amazon had like three different size perforations in it. I couldn't tell a difference. This one happens to be ultra fine, and I've been using this for like well over a year. I finally replaced the plunger, though I don't think I needed to replace the plunger. And the only other thing I pimped out on it was I added this, which this does get kind of gross. I added this like cover, which kind of keeps it the opening from like digging into your hand. You can actually store stuff inside there, which is really pretty dope. Just the use of space, just love it. It's just it's so well thought out, and you've got all the attachments that go onto it. But so in order to use the Aeropress, is that you need to have a vessel in order to press it into, and since I'm a bit of a gorilla, I need a very sturdy vessel, and I use this Woodcraft, which is a woodworking company supplier that sells high-end hardware and high-end hardware. It's you know, they sell tools and they sell wood, and the weirdest thing that they sold was this. So to go back, when I was getting into coffee, I was looking for a nice mug, because you know the whole part of the experience is, you know, what you actually drink your coffee out of, and purists will say not to drink it out of stainless, but whatever. I've got tea in here right now because it's after 3. So I was looking for I don't know why I was looking for a steel mug, but I wanted a double insulated steel mug. So a steel mug that's not double insulated will transmit the heat or cold through the material. So then you're holding onto a hot, super hot, piping hot, or not, it should be piping hot for coffee, but a hot vessel. This is double insulated, so it actually stays relatively cool or neutral temperature. And so it's a weird thing. I was clicking through Woodcraft, and I noticed they had this mug, and I was trying to find a cost-effective, nice mug, and they were hard to come by. And that one that was stainless steel, or even better, titanium, but stainless would have been much more cost-effective. So I found this on their website, and it has a nice brazed handle on it, and it comes with a nice lid. And I ordered it, and the price that they were charging for it was ridiculously low for what it is, and I was certain it was going to be a piece of shit, but it hasn't been. So what's great about it is we have a bunch of ceramic mugs in the house, but I like this guy because it's even all the way down, so it's balanced. It's not going to wobble or anything like that. And so what I do when I make my espresso, I just basically kind of lean on this bad boy, or my tea. I make my yerba mate with this, and I just kind of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, push down on it every morning, and it stays clean, doesn't rust. It's just an awesome mug. And so with that, that's my breakfast, half of my breakfast routine, and the other part of my breakfast routine is this guy, Shakepeare. I've talked about this before. This thing is awesome. $20, and what it is a protein mix, protein mix shaker that has no moving parts, or and the idea behind this is that there's no square edges inside. What you see, this curvature, is what you get in the bottom, and since there's no square corners in this thing, there's no place for the protein mix to get trapped and become pockets of dry dust. That's the most annoying thing about protein mixes, is when you get to the bottom, all of a sudden now you realize you've been drinking a dilute protein mix, but now you've got a whole shit ton left in the bottom. That generally does not happen with this. You know, if you don't shake it hard enough, it will sit at the bottom, but just a very little bit, and then I just go back to the sink and put some filtered water in it and shake it up. The other crazy thing about this thing is why I love it. The handle don't really use, because I always just kind of carry it. Is it doesn't have any gaskets. Doesn't have any gaskets on the lid, which is kind of crazy, and it doesn't leak at all. Of course, now it's going to leak, but I've had this well over a year, quite a while now. The only gasket it has is on the lid, and that's never leaked. And so there aren't very many things to fail with this. I've dropped it on concrete, expecting to have shattered it. Didn't do that. So after I kind of started my unintentional weight loss program this year, part of it was having a protein shake for lunch. And so what I would do is, after breakfast, I would just wash this out. Oh, and the other thing is, it's kind of like Vitamix, is you put in a little bit of water, a little bit of soap, and then you shake it. And then I just dump it out and just kind of wash it out real quick. But so then I would just fill it up with water, and then take it with me when I go to work, and then just have this as a lunch snack before I get home, or sometimes it'll get me through the whole day. And that's how one would lose 15 pounds in a year that you would theoretically not have 15 pounds to lose. And I kind of credit this guy. The other thing is, so that's like all my drink stuff, right? So the other cool thing is that I use all the time is obviously, well, not obviously, because a lot of people don't use wallets. They use cell phone credit card holders. I'm old school. I got to have a wallet, and the wallet I use, and I've settled on after, I guess I was 35 when I discovered these. They're flow fold sailcloth wallets. Well worn, because the sailcloth is coming off the corner. But what I love about this wallet, and in fact, the first one I got, still intact. I gave it to Nate, and he loves it. He loves it. It's minimalist. It's thin. In sailcloth, in case you didn't know, is for strength to weight. As far as a textile, it's incredibly strong. Strong enough to make sails, as a matter of fact, sailboat sails. And so what this company does is it takes sailcloth. Honestly, it's a new sailcloth. Kind of cool if they took old sails and made stuff out of it. But they take sailcloth and make wallets out of it. So the material itself is the sailcloth. The outer part is just regular nylon or Cordura nylon. And because sailcloth is so thin and silk-like, but I think it's actually tensile strength is even higher than silk. It makes for, like I said, a very minimalist wallet. And I've got multiple cards in here, and I love these things. So it's got clear windows, so you can see your ID and stuff. Like I said, I'm old school. I carry cash, and I keep receipts. And then the other thing is I cannot live without is my Amazon Prime card. This thing, I would die without it. I actually probably would die without Amazon. So the two go together. Love this thing. Amazon Prime Visa, best card, at least for my lifestyle. But yeah, so the sailcloth wallet is my jam. Always have this with me, and it's light, and that's what I love about it. So Flow Fold is a cool company, USA. U.S. company, which kind of was kind of cool, is I love LL Bean, but Betsy is an absolute LL Bean fanatic. And I thought it was really cool is that Flowfold did a collaboration, is doing collaborations with LL Bean. So I think it's like two great companies working together, and I'm stoked about that. It's just the way the stuff feels. It feels like, I think when most people pick it up, they think it's like a toy. But me being a geek, I really appreciate this material. I mean, it's an amazing material, and it's been around forever. Well, not forever, but a long, long time, the modern sailcloth version. So when they're making these bags out of it, their bags are really light and they're really, really, really tough. And on a side note, so at work, Betsy had an old LL Bean canvas, duck cloth rigging bag, and it was just sitting around, and I'm like, that would make a great bag for work. I could just like throw some tools in it and carry it around. And that worked out great. It's like, this is the best thing. And to the point where I actually bought another one to replace it because I was starting to like punch holes into it, which takes, trust me, it takes a lot of effort to punch a hole into an LL Bean canvas rigging bag. And then about the same time when I got the new one, I discovered, I was like, man, what if I got a slightly bigger one? So I got a Vito Pro Pack giant rigging bag, duffel bag, not duffel bag, but the tool bag, just an open, and they're great. So anyway, that's an LL Bean tangent into Vito Pro Pack. So the other, one of my last two things getting away from me, well, this is the second to last one. It's a neti pot, or that's not a neti pot, it's actually a Neil Med neti pot. Ooh, product showcase. This thing, I was using a neti pot for years, and I actually only discovered it after watching the show 6 Feet Under, because there's a great scene where their new stepfather is using a neti pot in the sink, and I was like, man, what's that? And the character described what a neti pot was, and I'm like, that's exactly what I need, because I work near dirty stuff, my allergies are horrible, and it's like, that's what I need to go and clean out my sinuses. And it wasn't until I found my great allergist, who Dr. Goldberg, and he recommended switching over to this, and I have to agree, he's correct. And what's nice about it is it's kind of like a pressurized way of cleaning things out without causing too many problems that come with other devices. Love this thing, and it fits anytime outside of winter. This is definitely in my dock bag. And the last thing I'll talk about is my Invisalign. And the Invisalign is, in case you don't know, are teeth braces without being braces attached to your teeth. And I think it's like the de facto standard now, that type of technology. And it's basically 3D printed braces that you put on your teeth. I've got them out now because it's hard to talk with them. I started using the Invisalign 12 months ago, and now I am pretty much 2 weeks done. 2 weeks, 20 more days, I think. Not even, I think 10 more days left in my initial 40 tray, that's what they call the disposable ones, 40 tray treatment. And each tray lasts 10 days. So I'm 400 days into treatment. The only reason why I always hated my teeth. And didn't get braces when I was younger because money was tight, and my sisters needed to get them because they needed to find a husband. No, I'm just kidding. So so when it came to time for me to get braces, I didn't want to give my parents the pressure of having to pay for that, and so I forewent the braces. But the thing that sucked is my mom always criticized my teeth, and but it is what it is, and I managed to snag a beautiful woman as wife, and so, but what I was having problems with, and I noticed, is that when I was doing hard efforts, deadlifts or standing starts or stuff like that, I had to clench my teeth, and it started to cause alignment problems. So I had the money and whatever, so I was like, oh, fine, and Nate just finished his, and so I said I bit the proverbial bullet and decided to get braces for myself, and I was kind of convinced I wanted to get Invisalign, and had the process done, started, and it's been great. They 3D scan your mouth. It's really, really cool. Being a geek again, I mean, it's an incredible process. pain-free. I love it because you can take them out and do stuff like this, and you can just have a regular life without the stigma of having braces on your teeth and then put them back in. And I'm honestly keeping them in. At least my orthodontist said I'm doing a great job. So I'm almost done. I've got, I think, like 80 more days left. I need to get it rescanned in 10 days, and I'll be done. And then I get, so in case you notice, I got this gap in my tooth. Well, that gap actually, ironically, was smaller before, but this is part of the process to make the gap big enough to fit a bridge or an implant or whatever, and then I'll have like the whole thing done. But this is the case they give you, and I didn't want to put the trays in here to kind of gross you out, but this is just a little device I use to store my trays when I'm not using them. But yeah, so that's my list, and it's probably going on way too damn long. And so as a preview of next year's list, and I'll be officially 50 then, are reading glasses. So Betsy loves these on me. Makes me look smart because she knows I'm not. So, but yeah, so my one thing I noticed in my 49th year is my vision was starting to go, and I used to be able to like work on stuff right up against my face and be able to read, and now I can't. It's difficult to do. So I just finally picked these up last week, and then just as I was starting to take this thing, these are 1.25s. I realized, I didn't know that, thanks Barbara, I didn't realize that they started at 1.0 X magnification. And so these are a little bit strong. So the other day I just went on Amazon and got 6 pairs of these as 1.0, and I just tried them out, and they're actually better. So I'll keep these in the wings, and I'll throw for when I actually do need 1.25s, but right now I'm at 1.0. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is actually kind of fun. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.